Hey guys, welcome to the Piggy Bank podcast, your favorite casual gaming podcast with your casual gaming buds. These are my casual gaming buds. We have Connor Elliott. I don't have a little bit other than he hates platinum trophies, and
Phil,
that's Connor.
I hate to tell you something. We already just did on the podcast before a bit similar to that. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, it's already been done.
Okay, well, I did
very lazy.
2 weeks before y'all did it. So.
And you're lazy still. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not debating that it's lazy. I'm saying that I'm the one that says it.
That's true.
If anything, y'all are more lazy for taking from me.
What? I'd never.
Anyway, we also have platinum gamer juggernaut Tavin Bothel, who just hit his 80th platinum.
Big 80. Thank you, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. The hardest one to achieve of the 3 games. That's not saying much, because the first 2 are really just super easy. But
yeah, it's okay. I'll get it eventually.
The third one, you got to do a couple of things. Got to do a couple of things.
I'll probably when I get to that back to that Sly Cooper 2, I'll eventually go to 3. I imagine so.
Yeah.
Just open up a guide, get myself through it.
You don't need a guide. It's not necessary.
Okay.
No, it's just mind. They ask more from you as a gamer than what Sly 2 asks.
Okay. So, well, all right.
That's all.
I am a gamer.
That's all it is. You are a game, and it's a kid's game, so it's not meant to be super difficult. There's 1 or 2 that I was like, all right, this is actually a little tricky, but a couple of attempts and knocked it out.
Of course, am your host, Phil Shoemaker. No, I don't actually make shoes. Thank you for asking. I've also never heard that before. You're so creative. Me fucking calling out whoever is even watching this video.
I'd heard the collective listener go, all right.
Just a sigh.
Yeah.
Or just a click off. But anyway, of course, you guys are here live. If you're not, you're on youtube.com/2pennygames. If you're catching us live, you'd see us on twitch.tv/2pennygames. And you can follow us on Twitter at the number 2 penny games, and TikTok spelled out like the rest 2 penny games. We're of course also on any podcast platform that you listen to, you so choose. Everywhere around the world. That's where we are. We're here. We're gamers. Get used to it. All right.
We do stuff. This is so aggressive.
We do.
So we're in this bitch. Now you listen to me. God damn it.
That's right. We of course come here. We like to talk about what we've been playing. Me and Connor, I don't know if Connor has really dived into it, but we, of course, are playing Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. And let me tell you, it kills me every hour that I'm not playing this game.
Well, Phil,
review going live tomorrow at youtube.com/@2pennygames.
It is true. Expect my review tomorrow as of this recording. Well, not as of this recording, as of this video coming out.
Yeah. Twitch audience, you got to wait a week, but you already knew that because you listened to the Gamecast last week.
Yes. Connor, have you had an opportunity to dive in to Hyrule?
As I was kind of saying before, well, to your question on the technicality of it, no. Because technically I'm not in Hyrule, I'm in the sky still. I'm on the first opening level. So I have not played much, but I'm in the same boat as you. Well, I'm still in the sky, and I'm enjoying the game so far. I had mentioned to before, Phil, Tavin would love the Fuse system if it wasn't for the framework of this game being what it is. Something that he hates, something that he despises, something that he says is a bad game.
Never said that.
But aside from that,
the Fuse system is so fun. Mm-hmm. It is so fun.
I believe it. I want to do it. I want to fuck around with it. I saw someone fucking around and made a big wheel. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dude, oh my God. I've seen so many hilarious fucking things on Twitter. Just because, like, obviously when I'm not playing the game, I'm on Twitter looking at stuff about the game. Or at work. Or doing this.
Someone made a Trojan horse and said Ganon will never see it coming.
Dude, it's so good. I was laughing my ass off at all the things that people are doing to these little Koroks. Like putting them on the thing and just shoving them down the river or like through the sky. And oh my God, it's hilarious.
Okay. Now listen, when it comes to certain mascot characters, torturing them is okay.
Koroks? Yeah, I agree.
No. But not Koroks. Koroks are not in that category. Anyone who does that should be held up to the Nuremberg laws and tried efficiently.
Connor,
reasonably.
can you state what all the Nuremberg laws are?
Yeah, if you're Nazi, you die.
Oh, that's a good law. I like that law.
And if you do things that they would do, like torturing Koroks and murdering them, you deserve to be put to death, frankly.
Harsh, but
So let me ask you something, Phil.
Yeah.
Have you tortured any Korok?
Me personally, no. I've just looked at videos and laughed.
Well, you better be aware that I better not find out, because otherwise I'm paying you a visit.
feels like I just gotta find the next. I'm just finding shrines. That's all I'm doing.
That's literally all I've been doing. I don't even have the paraglider yet.
Which
You don't start with it?
Dude,
No.
Okay, so the thing is, Tavin, and other people were making this point, it feels so weird without it that some people were killing themselves because they would jump off and be like, I'm going to jump. Oh, and then they don't have it and they just die. And I constantly am going in. I haven't killed myself, but I jump off something and I press it instinctively. I'm like, oh, I can't do that right now.
Don't have it yet.
And the reason why, Tavin, it actually has a very good game function, which is they're trying to make you use the fuse system to get around the map in the first area.
Yeah.
And it's necessary because when it first was introduced, I was kind of like, what can I use this to do? What avenues do I have to use this system? And it does a really good job.
They want you to play around with the systems more.
And they give you the opportunity to do so.
People
and
making mad vehicles, making mad weapons. I've seen some crazy stuff.
I got to the ground, and first thing I did is I made a car.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's already sounds so much better than Breath of the Wild, but like just the fact because like
honestly,
so cool,
so much walking in that game where I'm like, this is not fun.
I couldn't steer it because I don't have that piece yet, but like I was just like moving down the path. It was awesome,
going straight. You know what, Tavin? I might give you this recommendation of the game based on where it goes from here. Because if it is a different layout and structure than Breath of the Wild in terms of its story and the beats that it follows, it might be something you'd be up to. Because you didn't really hate the gameplay of Legend of Zelda, did you? Breath of the Wild? Like the moment-to-moment gameplay?
He felt aimless.
I felt aimless. I mean, I don't think the combat's good in Breath of the Wild.
He hates weapon degradation.
I hate that, but I also just think that the sword play is bad. So,
like, I can understand someone having that thought.
Yeah, like that took me out, and then like the world felt empty to me, and a lot of climbing. But then they do everything they can to hinder your climbing. Like I had a lot of issues with Breath of the Wild.
Okay, well,
from according to what Gene Park says, there's something that gets introduced early on that basically negates any issue of climbing and slipping and stuff like that. I haven't gotten there yet, but you know,
you're right. That's why I'll see if I can give you a recommendation on this game. Phil, maybe you can do the same after we play it.
We'll see.
Because I'm already excited to go into the temples, the dungeons, the classic.
I have a friend at work who he was a big Elden Ring guy, and he didn't know that Elden Ring was like inspired by Breath of the Wild, like the concept of it anyway. And because he loved Elden Ring, but he had never played Breath of the Wild. No, he's playing Breath of the Wild on his girlfriend's Switch, and then because she just got Tears of the Kingdom. So he was playing through that and a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom, like just the opening bit. So I know he's loving Breath of the Wild. He's enthralled in the world. He's absolutely having a whale of a time. So,
well, it's funny you say that because Tavin didn't really like Elden Ring all that much, or Breath of the Wild, and I loved Elden Ring and loved Breath of the Wild. So I think it's pretty reasonable to say that if you like Elden Ring or
I dislike them for different reasons.
Yes, you do. But like
Elden Ring's world worked for me. Like I liked exploring and running around in that world. Elden Ring's central game design and the feel of gameplay turned me off.
But you don't like the comment.
Like literally, like if you just took Sekiro, pulled him out, and put him in Elden Ring, I would love that game.
Which that's a good gameplay system. From Software's best fighting system was in Sekiro. That is a truthful statement. I'm on to that. Followed by Elden Ring, I would say.
Damn good.
I was gonna say you don't like Bloodborne.
Oh, I love Bloodborne. Oh, Tavin.
I've only played.
I was talking to Connor.
You talking to me?
Connor loves Bloodborne.
You said.
Oh, I love.
You said that it has the best combat system, Sekiro. And then you followed up with Elden Ring and not Bloodborne, where you get the health back after getting stuff like that. Like, what do they call it? It's like the revenge system or something like that.
Yeah, visceral attack. Well, no, not visceral attacks. I can't remember what the system's called, but it's very followed closely behind Elden Ring, and not really because of that, but because of the trick weapons. It has the best weapon system in all of the FromSoft games. It's just the reason why I would say Elden Ring is better is the weapon skills really change things up, and they become very customizable. So you have a lot more freedom to change up gameplay as you see fit, and the gameplay still like feels like the regular R1, R2 hits function pretty much the same way that.
I was a big fan of in Elden Ring how you could basically like mix and match the special moves and stuff.
Yeah, that's very good. And the customizability just puts it over Bloodborne. But those things, Bloodborne and Elden Ring's combat system, I would rank very closely. But Sekiro is just kind of on another level in terms of its gameplay. I would think everything else is inferior as far as From Software games go, but swordplay, nice.
Okay. I think the next time I'm in the mood for like a FromSoft game, I think that's the next thing I'm going to tackle is Bloodborne.
Or you can wait till the game cast when we do that on the Piggy Bank.
It's true. Well, it's not the Piggy Bank. It's the
Game Club?
The Game Club.
Game Club.
Not the game cast.
Who knows when that'll happen, huh?
We'll see.
No,
I mean,
we
it's a luck of the draw. It's a luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. We have to serve the wheel.
We do.
We have to serve the wheel. How are y'all doing on the Tropical Freeze?
I'm playing it. Tavin, you're playing it too, right?
Haven't touched it. I was playing Sly 3.
At all?
I was playing Sly 3. I was having a great time.
Haven't touched it at all.
It's just I was playing some Sly Cooper, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm Sly Cooper.
No.
I
It
edited
doesn't
some
feel like
shorts.
it's that big of a game.
Huh?
It doesn't feel like it's that. It doesn't feel like it's that big of a game. Like I'm already on like the 5th overworld. I think last time I picked it. I picked it up. So I don't know.
I will say one thing. This is not a
worlds are in.
review or a hint at my
Freeze.
feeling of the game. But Tavin, as far as like if we're talking enjoyment level, I think you are better at playing Sly.
You're not enjoying it?
No. That's what I said earlier. It's not an estimation of Donkey Kong's gameplay on its own.
Yeah.
But when Tavin's having to decide between that and Sly, if I had to, say something because I touched Sly a little bit, I would choose Sly. As well.
Interesting.
I'll just say that.
So yeah,
but I wouldn't think Tropical Freeze is going to be a big game for you, Connor. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Platformers are not my platformers and puzzle games. The last two that we've done are not my.
Game
I play them.
Fucking you.
Yeah. I enjoy both.
Especially with like what I put on the list. Mine's like almost all platformers.
Yep. I know. I'll be getting to those.
Oh,
and then I'm just sitting here happy as a duck, just playing it all. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
You know?
You haven't really had like a negative experience yet. And neither really have I, but
I'm like the only one that has.
I wouldn't call it a negative experience because I liked the game, but the process of playing Chrono Trigger was hard for me because I was so busy at the time. I had just moved into my apartment. Classes had just started. I was going to rehearsals.
That's fair.
I had a lot going on, and fitting in a 50-hour RPG is hard to do at the same time. So
20-hour.
Was it that much? I put 20 hours into it, and I didn't get to the end.
Jesus. Well,
I'm sure if it's like Golden Path,
Something like that. Oh, I also got the Jedi Survivor Platinum. I don't think I've talked about that on any of the shows.
Okay. I thought you had.
Maybe I had. I don't remember. Or maybe last week I just talked about how I was closing in on it, but I've obtained it. Solid trophy list with the exception of a few trophies that were a little annoying. I'm glad that there's not 100% trophy. Like you do not have to acquire every collectible in the game. You got to get a good amount, but you don't have to acquire every collectible in the game. You don't have to go down every little alley.
Right, it's not complete the map like it was in Fall Order.
It's much more manageable. There's just a couple of things that do require you to jump around and do a lot of.
I get you.
You do have to get all of one type of collectible because there's currencies in the game for the shops and so forth to buy more cosmetics because all of them are cosmetics. The first shop you unlock, you have to buy every one of the items in that one. It just happens to also be the biggest shop with the most collectibles tied to it, which is like, all right, great, here we go. So,
to answer the question that I had, I googled how many worlds are in Tropical Freeze. There are 6, and I just finished 5 or I'm almost at the end of 5.
Dang.
So
okay.
I'm closing. I'm close to the end. I'm trying to think how many bosses I fought. I think it's either 4 or 5 bosses that I fought, and I just can't remember. But yeah, really a lot of fun. I think I'm having the most fun in that game when I'm just schmoving, just going through the level as fast as possible.
Just going at it. You're going fast, but as a monkey.
Yeah, fucking because I feel super. It's super satisfying, just like going between enemies and jumping on them and fucking sliding through stuff fast as possible. It's good.
We'll talk all about that. We'll talk all about.
We will get into that.
April.
But let's go ahead and dive in to some mini games here. I'm going to go first this week with Hit 10, that game that Tavin brought to us last week. He brought it to us with Zelda. We are going Assassin's Creed this week.
Oh, you're fucked, Connor.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I know all of them. I know all of them. What are you talking about?
All right. So
see, I'm actually better at this one because I know more of the games.
Okay.
But do
Assassin's Creed up.
Is it what is it a list? Is it a list you made?
It is a top 10 list. Yes. No, it's not of me.
From
it's
who?
It's IGN.
IGN. Cool.
Yep,
Top 10
IGN.
Assassin's Creed games.
Yep. The Assassin's Creed franchise has spanned the globe since it debuted in 2007, and entries have taken players from Renaissance Italy to ancient Greece to the American Revolution. Along the way, the series has changed dramatically from sequels that made good on the promise of past entries to entirely new takes on character progression. So which games are the best out of Ubisoft's long-running series? IGN's biggest Assassin's Creed fans came together to agree, argue, and eventually cull together our favorites. It's worth noting this list pulls from the mainline Assassin's Creed series of console releases. So no mobile
Assassin's
or
Creed
handheld.
India.
Right. Entries were considered as they vary greatly in scope and design. Without further ado, these are the top 10 Assassin's Creed games, and I'm not going to list them, but if you guys can figure that out for me, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a wheel, see who's going first.
He's going to wheel. So what happens is whoever gets the wheel gets to guess first. Me and Connor will go back and forth, taking turns guessing. And it, like, say if Connor were to guess number 10 on the list, that would be worth 1 point. If I were to guess number 1 on the list, the best Assassin's Creed game, that would give me 10 points. We'll go back and forth, 5 turns each. We either get it or we don't.
It's true. And it's looking like it's going to be Tavin going first.
That's me.
You have it.
Number 1 is one of 3.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of which one of the 3 did they put on there. Do we got a lot of old school fans? Do we got new school fans? Do we have someone who came on in the middle? Let me take a swipe at Assassin's Creed. I'm going to go Black Flag for my first guess.
Tavin. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. My personal favorite Assassin's Creed. Thank you, Penny, for contributing.
She out here. Man. She wanted to let us know. She said, that's right. That's right. That's the right answer.
Is the number 1 answer.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Oh, they're so wrong, but that's okay.
It is the best Assassin's Creed game.
No,
so
Odyssey's better, Origin's better, Syndicate's better.
Oof. No.
Yeah.
Syndicate is for sure not better.
No, Syndicate's better.
No.
Better gameplay.
So yeah,
that's a minority opinion.
Going to Tavin here. Connor, if you can hit me with your first guess here.
All right. Well, I had 3 in my head. Tavin just took one of them, so now I have 2 left in my head. I'm gonna go because it's my personal favorite, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I haven't played all of them.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Connor.
If it's not in the top 3, this list is stupid.
Is the number 3 answer.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
I know what number 2 is.
Odyssey, that's going to award you 8 points, my friend.
The thing is, Connor, is do you know what number 2 is?
Well, I think I do. It's the better way to put it.
With what the internet says, how the internet talks about Assassin's Creed.
But see, this is IGN, so I also think it could
but
be
IGN subscribes to that type of thinking of like, this is the game that everybody says is great, so we're going to put it high in the list.
I feel like lately they've definitely become people pleasers.
So I'm gonna reach, and I'm gonna guess number 2 is in fact Assassin's Creed 2.
Ooh.
Which
Assassin's Creed 2.
A lot of people still say it's the best for some weird reason.
I actually started replaying it before Tears of the Kingdom.
Doesn't hold up, does it?
It is the number 4 answer.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. See, I know what number 2 is.
That is going to be 7 points going to Tavin. That brings Tavin to 17 points. Yeah, that game's ugly. Anyway, Connor,
I'm going to give it a much-needed tie to get me on par with Tavin. I'm going to go with the number 2 pick, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Connor is not going to bring you to a tie because that is the number 7 answer.
Yep.
Dang, I thought it was going to be way higher.
Yeah. One of my favorites. One of my personal favorites.
I think it's the best of the Ezio trilogy.
I agree. I think it is as well. Better level
That's
design.
what I always thought the consensus was.
Just the addition of recruiting assassins,
a lot of fun.
And it's a lot of fun.
First Assassin's Creed with multiplayer, and the early Assassin's Creed games had great multiplayer.
I don't think I played that much Brotherhood multiplayer. I played a lot of Revelations multiplayer. I played a lot of 3 multiplayer.
I did a lot of Brotherhood, and I did a lot of Black Flag. Those were the 2 for me. Toyed around in 3, toyed around in Revelations, but Brotherhood and Black Flag were my big ones. Ooh, okay. So what is number 2 then?
Yeah, right.
Are they going for the new shit, or are they? Is there a title that like they had something to say and they were like, we're putting this high because we have something to say? That's really the question now. So that's hard. That's really hard. Okay. Where was Brotherhood? Brotherhood was number 7.
Number
There goes
7.
my dog again.
7's high for Brotherhood. I would still think that'd be like, if it wasn't 2, I was gonna get like 6 or 5.
Hang on, real quick. So Tavin got number 1, 10 points, and he got.
I mean, Connor, I don't think highly of one through Revelations. I don't think highly of.
Then Connor got.
I don't think high of 3 either, but 3 had some gameplay changes that made it more fun to play. But it's got other issues alongside that. Level design is pretty meh. Story didn't really hit for me on that one either. Let me think.
Tavin, hit me with your 3rd guess.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot for. See, there's the right answer, and then there's the probable answer. Let me shoot somewhere in the middle and say Assassin's Creed Origins.
Tavin, Assassin's Creed Origins is the number 2 answer.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, do I just quit now?
No, Connor, there's still points on the board for you.
You know, I'm gonna get the bad ones. And just
What am I at? That would put me at what, 20?
26.
26. Connor's at.
It is literally impossible for me.
12?
12.
Yep.
I mean, unless I, you know, I gotta brick every answer from here.
Yeah. See, Tap. It is literally impossible.
Connor, hit me with your 3rd guess, please.
Let's just go with Assassin's Creed 1.
Connor,
I told you I was gonna go out there.
That is not on the list.
What are you doing?
It's not on the list.
That is not on the list.
Why would that be on the list?
I told you I'm just gonna go for the worst ones.
Oh my Jesus!
Well, you gotta at least hit the ones that are on the list, Connor.
It's gonna fucking hit the French one next. What was the French one called?
I didn't think it was gonna be on the list. Are you kidding me, Tavin? You don't know what the best Assassin's Creed name is?
I don't remember. I really don't remember what the one with co-op. Don't remember it. Don't remember what it's called.
Tavin, if you can hit me with your 4th guess.
My 4th guess is I am gonna go for Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the number 5 answer.
I'll take that. Top 5 for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Syndicate was a good game.
I don't think I've ever heard of a game like Assassin's Creed Syndicate that has less of an impact on anything than that game.
Not very impactful, I will say.
Yeah.
It's
People were done with
much.
Assassin's Creed at the time, but it's a good one. It's a good one. It really is.
That was the last one before the remake, right? Like not the remake,
or
the redesign.
Yeah, it was, and I would argue it's
like the combat and everything.
It's the best version of that. You're only going the assassin part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag sucks. You only like the ship part.
No,
I
like
promise you
everything
the
about it.
assassin part sucks.
No.
It's trash.
I'll eventually get back to it, and I will still consider it the best one.
I think just on a gameplay level, I think all those old AC games suck. Like they do not hold up.
Wow,
Harsh. Well, I'm gonna go. It's my turn, right? Yeah.
yes,
No? Yeah.
no, it's yours.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3 is also not on the list.
Connor, there's a modern one you could grab that is going to be on the list that you.
How many more mainline ones? Oh, the other mainline.
There's
one that I
lots
forgot
of
about.
mainline
There's
Assassin's
still
Creed
mainline
games.
ones coming. Yeah,
There are so many mainline Assassin's Creed games.
they've been doing this one.
Not Tavin, Connor.
Oh shit! Wait, there's the one I never played because it was on last gen consoles, and I doubt Connor knows the name of it, and I'm curious if that one's on the list.
Tavin, if you can hit me with your number 5 answer, please.
I said last gen. It's on PS3 consoles.
The last before last gen.
Yeah. I mean, we've hit all the good ones. Is the thing. So I'm gonna go with the last one that I think is also quality is Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, of course, is on the list. It's number 6 answer.
Oh damn.
See, that was the one.
I hit damn near everyone from 1 through 6. I just missed fucking 3.
At least I got the best one, Odyssey.
Odyssey is the best one. Odyssey is the best.
See, I can't remember if I enjoyed Odyssey or Origins more, but I'm excited when I get back to it eventually to actually like have my opinions. You know,
Odyssey is the best.
I'm gonna be quite honest, guys. Though I literally just completely forgot about Valhalla. I remember the bad ones, but just Valhalla, it was just beyond. Like it just that was another one that was just so whatever.
I'll tell you what, Connor. So did everybody else.
Came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years. Oh my god, that's
3
longer than I
years ago.
thought.
I reviewed it on the Gamescast.
It's 2020.
It will be 3 years come whatever fucking month it came out. November, October, something like that.
Was it November?
Yeah. Assassin's Creed are late in the year games.
They always are.
Whose turn is it? It's Connor's turn, right?
Mine,
It's Connor's turn. Yeah, November 10th, 2020.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's two that I remember, and well, actually, that's not true. There's there's two that I remember.
I'm
That's it.
struggling to remember what's left.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna do the
okay.
one-
I've got 3. I've got 3 left. I think there's only 3 mainline ones left anyway.
Yes, there's 3 left on the list.
I didn't know
Because
there were-
Connor foolishly named 2 that were not on the list.
To be quite honest, I was so brazen with it because I don't even remember there being 10 Assassin's Creed beyond 10
Connor.
Assassin's Creed games.
So are there
A
only
ton of Assassin's Creed games, huh?
Are there only
mainline
10
ones, though.
mainline games?
No.
What is it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, because
Whatever.
Connor named 2 that weren't on the list. Okay, duh. So there's like 12 or 13, somewhere in there.
Something like, I think there's actually like 15.
Whew, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
When did they stop? I don't even know. Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Assassin's Creed Revelations, Connor, is the number 8 answer.
Yeah, people didn't like that one though. That was when everyone was like, "This was so bland." Even back in the day.
All right.
Nobody liked that one. How is it number 8? I thought it was gonna be on the list. I just thought it was gonna be number 10.
No, because in fact, number 10 is Assassin's Creed
hold
Unity.
On. All right, well, yeah. Assassin's Creed Unity is number 10.
Unity
Yeah.
is number 10.
The first
That was the
game's
one I was
better than
not-
Unity. What was the other one Connor named?
What did you want me to
Three.
do?
3's better than Unity.
Why,
Yeah, that
why
was
did you want
really
me to
weird.
stop?
Because I was gonna guess the last one's on the list.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, you still have one more.
Well, that would lead me to believe because Connor named 1. He named what was the other one that wasn't on the list? 3. Which would make me think the only one left possible is Assassin's Creed Rogue.
That
Yes,
was the one.
that's going to be the number 9.
Connor, everybody forgot about that one.
Now, what was even the setting of that one?
Well, I can tell you, it's around the same time. It's right before Unity, and it's right before Unity, and I think
Isn't it-
still before.
It's well before Unity, right? Because it's a prequel to 3.
Yes. So I mean, they happen close together though. Like the stories of 3 and Unity happen very close together.
Do they? Because it's American
Yeah.
Revolution and then the French Revolution.
Right, but
aren't
I mean,
those?
I mean,
I guess those two things
Lafayette-
do come out pretty soon. Yeah,
They happen
okay.
very, very close together. Like Lafayette left helping the American Revolution to go to help the French Revolution.
In my head, like a decade apart. The two things.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking up like gameplay.
But you
shots
play
Rogue.
in Rogue. You play as an assassin turned into a Templar. Like he's given up on the assassin's order, and he betrays them.
I
and becomes a Templar.
remember now.
Connor,
That one had
it's
the coolest
essentially
concept
just
design.
it's essentially just a reskinned Black Flag. Is essentially what it is.
Oh. Wait, so what time period does it take place in? Is it? That's what I'm trying to guess. It's the.
It's right after the
Time
American,
period.
like
No, I'm
sorry,
sorry,
but it's
right
before
before
the
the
American
American
Revolution.
Revolution.
Not time frame. I always think of them in the theme that they're in, like
But it takes place
colonial
in
times, ancient Greece. Yeah,
America.
Does it?
it is.
Yeah.
That's why you're saying it was after the American Revolution.
It's all
I didn't know it was
icy.
still in
No,
America.
it was before the American Revolution.
before.
It's all
Um,
icy though. Isn't it? I thought it was like a fucking Greenland game or some shit.
No, it's like so it released at the same time as Unity. Because Unity was releasing for the One and the PS4 while Rogue came out for PS3 and Xbox 360.
Which is weird because Black Flag also came out launch well, not launch obviously because it predates those consoles, but when those consoles launched, it did
It was I got it with like a double pack of Unity and Black Flag. Like when I got my first Xbox One, I got it with both.
Yeah, I had the Black Flag bundle with the Xbox One, which I did get later, but that was what it is. And the Assassin's Creed, step between Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed 3. What is the location? Just a bunch of facts in my internet.
But anyway, that's going to bring the scores, of course.
Jesus
We
Christ.
have Connor with 15 points
God damn, bro.
and Tavin with 37. So you
Son-
were right there, Connor. You were
Son,
right there.
you could have been right there, but you threw it in the trash. You threw it in the trash.
No. I legitimately didn't because I was so smug in the fact I was gonna get on the list. I didn't even entertain. The only one I thought wouldn't be there.
Why
is
would
Assassin's
you
Creed
think
Unity.
AC1 was on the list? Why would you think that?
Dude, I couldn't remember there being more than 10.
That's probably the worst Assassin's Creed game.
I have a soft spot for it, but
Strange.
you know, that's me.
Very
I mean, I
weird.
think Unity is the worst one. Like
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
think
know about
I didn't
that.
even think Unity was
It
good.
wasn't that bad.
Despite the glitches, I don't even think Unity was good.
I had a good time even through the glitches.
But again, I'll say that era of Assassin's Creed, none of it's good.
Phil
Except for
disagrees.
4.
The ship stuff is fun in 4. I did like the ship stuff. The story was bleh.
Dang.
It wasn't bleh, it was just boring.
Well,
In
ancient
the
Greece
western
rules.
North Atlantic, the fictional river valley, partly inspired by the Hudson Valley in New York City. Oh, okay.
Just the reason you're thinking of ice is because it takes place during winter.
Well,
So it's
yeah,
winter
north.
in the northeast United States, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my minigame. That's what was it Hit 10? Yeah, Hit 10.
Hit 10.
Hit 10 Assassin's Creed.
Bada bing, bada
Connor
boom.
hit 13 Assassin's Creed.
15.
Or hit 12, whatever.
He hit 15. It was 15. He got 15.
Oh my
Can-
god, yeah, true.
Can we do mine? Can we jump into mine real quick? Because I
Yeah,
feel like mine will
absolutely
take us
we
some time. So let's do that.
Absolutely
so,
we can.
I am. Let me make sure the screen is right. Yep, the screen is perfect. So GQ put out a list this last week of the 100 greatest video games of all time, ranked by experts. They say so by Sam White and Robert Leadham. There's a big. Okay, let me see if I can get. So we gave the industry at large a blank canvas on which to determine their own criteria of best to see where the chosen games differ, where they're similar to the traditionally accepted canon. That meant gathering together a massive collective of our favorite developers, streamers, directors, and journalists in the business. Think of it as okay. Shut the fuck up. Each voter had one task: pick a personally ranked top 10 list, a game in first receives 10 points, and a game in 10 receives 1 point. We invited 300 individuals to participate and received 239 finalists with an incredible 652 games, receiving 1 vote or more. Our winner was not only received the most votes, but also placed people's number 1 more than any other rival. So, we're not going to go through each individual list. We're just going to kind of scroll through it. Gentlemen, did you look at the list?
I have not.
I think I've seen the top 10.
So have I.
Okay.
No. Maybe I haven't seen the top 10. I've seen some people's top 10 that they like contributed
that
to
they
it,
that
like
they
on
put out there. Yeah. So I went through the whole list, like in my free time, and I was like, and honestly, I'm pretty mixed on the final results about it because
I know you're not happy about 100.
I'm not happy about 100. 100 being Knights of the Old Republic. That you cannot name 99 games better than Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. You can't do it. You can't do it. But there's also things on the list that I'm like, no way in hell does this reach 100, like 100 greatest games. Even like if I take my hot takes away, because there's some games that I have hot takes about that you're like, of course that's going to be on the 100 greatest games of all time list.
Yeah.
Of course it is. But there's some games on here that I was like, why is this on the list? You can name better games than this. I'm just going to scroll through it real quick. I don't have any 90. Go ahead.
One quick thing that already seems is like the main issue with this entire list. It's from our favorite developers, streamers, directors, and journalists. I feel like the idea of what are the best games is going to be pretty samey across those categories of different like.
Well, I mean, you would say so, Connor, but if you would listen to me when I was reading the thing, 652 games were voted for.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm talking about like what would win out overall, like as being among the top ones.
Yeah, but I mean, like the way they did it makes sense to me. Like that's the best way to do it.
It does, and that's the one aspect. Like the way they
the way values for each one. Yeah.
The way they did it was one.
If you're gonna pool it, like if you were to lock 5 expert gamers who knew what the fuck they were talking about. I'm talking conversations the 3 of us would not be in because there's a lot of old games that we don't have in our register. Like I think those people could hash out a definitive these are the 100 greatest games of all time list and give reasons why.
Sure.
But if you're gonna be like, we like games, we don't love games, so let's ask all the experts and all the gamers out there what they think. I think this is the way to do it, is you ask the streamers, you ask the journalists, you ask the devs, and that's a wide enough variety of perspectives. You asked a lot of them, and they each got... I'm honestly surprised that 652 games were submitted. I would have guessed maybe half
that there were that many. Yeah, I probably would have said there's probably like 400 games that people said.
So that's impressive. And I believe they also did not. I know for a fact they did not say like they didn't put any rules like one entry per franchise. They just strictly went off the points.
Wouldn't there be no point?
Huh?
There'd be no point in doing just restricted franchises. That'd be really
because
dumb.
like they're on 100 greatest games of all time. At least 5 of them should be Mario games.
Yeah,
like bare minimum, 5 of them should be Mario games.
I'd say there also has to be at least 5 Zelda games on there. Like,
I don't know about 5, but Zelda should have quite a few. And then scrolling through the list. Like my thing is like you can't name 99 games better than Knights of the Old Republic, but fine. Return to the Obra Dinn, haven't played it. The original Super Mario Brothers, 96. And this is my thing, is I understand why it's this low. And honestly, like even if you put people who knew what they were talking about in the conversation and were ranking it, they would also probably put it this low just because it's an old game. Like, but it's a very important game, so you have to put it on the list. Like, there are games you have to put on the list, and then there are games that like deserve to be on the list. You know what I'm saying? Like the original Super Mario Brothers should be on the list of greatest 100 games of all time. Tetris should be on the list of 100 greatest games of all time.
Absolutely.
But then you get to like things like The Last of Us 1 or 2, God of War 2018 or Ragnarok. You get to your Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wilds, and so forth. And you go, yeah, these are the greatest games of all time. Sure, they're new, but they're also such high quality that they deserve to be here.
Absolutely.
I don't know what Ultima Underworld is, and I've never heard of that before, so good for that. Connor,
Yeah.
Okami at 94. You've played Okami. Does that seem fair to you?
No, I never have. I remember it when it came out, and I really wanted to play it, but I just couldn't or didn't at the time. I can't remember. But I bought it again recently and still haven't played it. And I put it on the Gamecast, the Game Club, so we can all try and experience it. Because apparently it's amazing.
Very nice.
I only heard good things about
God
it.
damn. The first
92, Mass Effect.
92.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. That makes sense
Yeah,
to me.
I mean,
I would personally have it much higher, but
I would probably have it at least like below 60, probably.
I would say,
I don't know.
if you're looking at an objective list, Mass Effect 1's a top 70 or 80 game.
See, I don't know if I can make a comprehensive 100-game list of just me.
Just off of, yeah. I mean, I could
'Cause
probably...
There's so many games that like I feel so similar about. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, 100 games is a list of 100 anything is a daunting task. So I commend GQ for even putting in the effort to do this. And they, they had to do a lot of number crunching and write-ups for all of this. So that's a lot of work. GTA 4, I don't think would hit 100 greatest games of all time for me, personally. But
it's better than Knights of the Old Republic, though.
no, it's not. Shut the fuck up.
But
Super Mario Kart, the original Super Mario Kart?
Okay, oh, wait, hang on. Pause. Tavin?
Yeah.
Connor is sticking up for Grand Theft Auto. Did you just hear that? He's sticking up for Grand Theft Auto.
Over an RPG, a classic
You know
RPG.
what?
Connor, you're our RPG guy.
You know what? No, I'm going to make a public apology. I don't think when that was said, I realized what's more important: me hating on Grand Theft Auto or me hating on Tavin or making fun of Tavin. I should hate Grand Theft Auto more than I like making fun of Tavin. That's more proper. So you're right, Phil. Thank you for pointing it out.
You're welcome. I bring these things to light. It's what I do.
Okay, at this point though, if GTA 5 is high on this list, I'm going to find
It's
the people
going
who
to
put
be.
it, and I think it's high
Connor.
on the list.
See,
Okay,
now this is my first thing. I don't know if you guys are watching the stream or whatever. I know I'm not showing
am.
you what I'm looking at or whatever. I'm looking at number 88, The Last Guardian. Why is this on the list?
Number 88?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
this
didn't seem
should
that
not-
well received.
It wasn't. This should not be on the list. Man, those Shadow of the Colossus fans go hard in the paint for anything Team Ico does. This was not 100 greatest games of all time. Super Mario Odyssey at 87, I guess. I would put it much higher. I would put it
way too low.
Yeah, I would put it much higher personally.
That's like at least top 20. Like, come
No,
on.
I'm not going that far.
Yes,
but it's a top
yes.
50. It's a top 50 for sure.
That is
top
the
50.
best Mario 3.
There's a lot of video
platform.
games, Phil. The top 20 is hard because like, where's 64?
For me?
Like if I said put 64 in a top in one of the 10s, either the top 10s, top 20, somewhere around there. Like where does 64 land? 64 to me is a top 20.
Maybe
You know?
you're a nerd who only
20
likes
fills
old
out
No.
fast. And you have to put
No,
64 ahead of Odyssey
Why?
for what it did for 3D, just in general, video games being
Listen.
in 3D, general game
The
design.
Odyssey's better. Odyssey's a better game.
Only because it's more modern, but 64 is more important, and people still swear that that's the best video game of all time.
Well, those people are wrong. But to the point of being so influential, yeah, that makes sense.
To
But
me-
at the same time, how does that deserve to put it as high as it is when you're talking about what games you would consistently
See,
go back
to
to? and
me,
play?
the only thing holding 64 back is the fucking every time you move the camera, it makes a noise.
Whoop.
Yeah, like if you just take that noise out, yeah, that's a top 10 game easy. In a quote unquote objective list, not in my list, but in an objective list, you know. Civ 5
What
at
is Civ
86 seems a little low to me. Shenmue, Shenmue at 84. Shenmue should not be on the list.
People
like-
kind of overrate that, from what I understand. Like I thought people held it in such high regard because it was so good, but I found out kind of recently that
mister,
people don't like it as much.
wanna
as
wrestle?
they
It's
thought.
not good. Like BioShock Infinite at 83, I'm okay with that. That's fine. BioShock Infinite is my personal favorite. I understand why it's not above the first one, and I understand why it's in the 80s.
I haven't played Infinite.
Really fun game. Great action. In my opinion, great story. Connor, 82, Dragon Age Origins?
Fair. That's fair. It's not
You think so?
It's not like such a mind-blowing, amazing game, but it's a very good game.
Over Mass Effect 1?
I would say so, yeah.
Wow.
Dragon Age Origins they're very close in quality. Mass Effect as a trilogy kind of makes it seem like it would be better than Dragon Age Origins, but if you're comparing like first game to first game,
Yeah.
I would say Origins wins out.
Okay.
Dragon Age just messed up how they made future games and doomed themselves.
Gotcha. I would also say the original Mass Effect, not the Legendary Edition version, which is significantly improved from the original, but obviously that wouldn't make the list. 81, Fortnite. I mean, if you talk impact and importance and stuff, yeah, Fortnite has to be in the list somewhere.
And adaptability
I think
as well.
Huh?
Adaptability and just doing all these extra crazy things.
Yeah,
no one else does it like Fortnite.
Yeah, so Fortnite would make the list. I think its spot is appropriate. This next one offends me. 80, Firewatch. Why is Firewatch on this list? You cannot tell me Firewatch is better than Knights of the Old Republic. You cannot tell me Firewatch is better than Mass Effect. You cannot tell me Firewatch is better than Dragon Age Origins, Grand Theft Auto 4,
Okay.
Super Mario Odyssey.
That's
That's one of those Greg Miller games.
Yeah, maybe it should. I can see it being on the list. I think that's being harsh to it too much because this is a very good game, but definitely like in the 90s.
Top
is where it belongs.
100?
I could see it being there. I wouldn't put it if I was doing like my own top 100, but it has a very nice story. It's a very pleasantly looking game and tells a good story without being really. It's kind of just a chill game as well, so it's very easable for many people.
I've heard unsatisfying ending.
That's also what I've heard.
I found it to be a kind of realistic ending.
Oh, okay.
It's not like the game sets it up for being this crazy, like deep mystery adventure, and it's not. It's supposed to be a guy.
Very simple ending. It's just a guy who lost his son. He's he's got PTSD or something like that.
There's more.
I saw a really good video about it.
Phil, Pokemon Gold and Silver at 76. I'm gonna start skipping around more here.
That's fair. If it's Soul Silver and Heart Gold's better. I imagine if they put it there and don't include Soul Silver and Heart Gold later, which I mean I imagine it probably won't be. That's a shame.
I don't remember in specifics, but Red and Blue is gonna be high.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm curious. I'm curious if any other like Pokemon games are on this list besides those four.
Yeah. 75
Probably.
Metroid Prime seems a little low to me, but okay. Undertale 74. I haven't played enough of Undertale to know. I've only played the very early Undertale.
I've played through Undertale twice. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good spot for it. I think.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry it's not higher, but it deserves its spot.
73 Final Fantasy 6. Connor, is that appropriate?
No, it's not. It needs to be higher. That's going to be that's. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's in like. No, top 30 would be justified.
Top 30.
Top 30. It would be like I would put it in like top 20s for myself, but
yeah,
30s makes sense.
Yakuza showing up at 72 makes sense. Yakuza 0 specifically. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 71. Sure, got to put Call of Duty here somewhere. That's an appropriate place to put it. Left 4 Dead 2 70. I think that makes sense. Probably could go a little higher.
Whoa, 69? What the hell?
Number 9.
I'm sorry. I scrolled down a second.
Number 69, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I haven't played Majora's Mask, gentlemen. Have you? Is that appropriate?
I haven't finished Majora's Mask. It's basically the same exact engine as Ocarina of Time. It's just there's more of like it's more gimmicky.
Yes.
It's you got 3 days to complete it. You like jump back and forth in time.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's better than Ocarina of Time. Like it has its cult following.
Also, but it hasn't sold as well as Ocarina of Time.
No, not nearly.
Ocarina
not nearly
dwarfs
as much.
Majora's Mask sales, so it's not going to end up on as many people's lists.
Easily, yes.
Yeah.
I think that is true. I think for a lot of people, I think that's more of like the normie pick to go Ocarina of Time. People are like really in their bag, in their Duffy when they're picking Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time.
67.
It's just not for me.
Yeah, 67 Wind Waker. Phil, does that sound appropriate?
People
Yeah,
love Wind Waker.
I would probably put it sub 50. Me personally.
But 67. I mean, it's a hard list. Like you got to start making cuts and exceptions. Connor, Fallout New Vegas 66.
Yeah. There are going to be other RPGs on this game that are objectively worse RPGs than this should be over it. I think as far as like in that kind of genre, that alone puts over a lot of those.
You're saying New Vegas should be much higher.
It should be much higher, yeah.
All right.
That's me though, personally, and I'm in that cult following.
Even if New Vegas is I haven't played New Vegas really. I played 3. I played a little bit of New Vegas. It didn't grab me, but I was a kid when I played it. But even if New Vegas is a better Fallout 3, Knights of the Old Republic's better. I think KOTOR is better than Mass Effect 1, personally. But
I can't definitively defend that, but I'm not going to oppose it because I've heard amazing things my entire life of Knights of the Old Republic. So I'd have to play them both. And it did come before New Vegas, so inspirations could have been taken.
Now, granted, and it came quite a bit. Like, though, there's quite a bit of time between the two games, so like exactly. I wouldn't be like super shocked just because of how old KOTOR is. But yeah, 65 GoldenEye, I guess if you want. 64 Persona 5. I mean that's a top 40 for me, easily.
A little bit higher, yeah.
Yeah.
I just said that RPG elements would put New Vegas over most games. Not this one.
Not this one. 63 Sims 2, sure if you want. 62 Castlevania Symphony of the Night feels really low to me. That's probably a top 40. 61 Grand Theft Auto 3 feels appropriate to me.
I think it should be way lower.
60 Super Metroid. Here we go. 59 Fallout 3. Connor, you've always said New Vegas over Fallout 3, but
I know, but people are simple-minded and only just say Fallout 3 is better, the best Fallout game, and that's why it's here. It's wrong,
then they double backed it with Oblivion, and I assume Skyrim is on this list, and it's probably going to be much higher. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, I like Oblivion a lot in my personal heart, but it's not like
Skyrim's going to easily be
magnum opus of a game.
Top 15.
I don't remember where everything lands, but I do think Skyrim is high. Final Fantasy 9 at 57.
Over 6 is surprising, but they have a very, very strong following because it's apparently one of the best Final Fantasies, so it makes sense.
Gotcha.
It's kind of just a personal preference thing.
Inside 56.
Inside?
Sure if you want. I think
too high.
You want. I mean, I would put it much lower, but if you want. Hollow Knight 55, appropriate.
Good for that little game.
Numerically much higher, I would put it. But yeah.
What is wrong with you fucking Shadow of the Colossus fans where you put Ico at 54? What the fuck are you smoking?
Shadow of Colossus is going to be high, and I can justify that. Not this.
It's going to be top 20 at least, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be in top 10. I don't remember exactly. Dishonored 2 at 53. Hey, I'm just glad Dishonored's on the list.
Get some representation.
If it wasn't there, I wouldn't be mad, but I'm glad it's there. I'm so glad it's there. Half-Life 52, sure if you want. Final Fantasy 10 at 51, sure if you want. Oh, here we go. Let's get in here. Stardew Valley at 49, sure if you want. Wow, much lower on the list than I would have expected. Grand Theft Auto at 48. Grand Theft Auto 5 at 48. That shocks me.
It's fair.
With what GTA 5 did to multiplayer games, and basically, I would argue, kickstarted games of service as a model. Like we didn't have a name for it at the time, and I think GTA 5 kind of trailblazed it in that way, where it just kind of continuously gave us free content updates.
Added on, yeah.
Tavin, we're trying to justify why these things should be ranked high, not lower.
You're such a Connor. You're such a. There was an example of a game that I know you like that I was like, that's a games of service model, and he loves that game, and I can't remember what it is now.
For Honor.
47 God of War, a little low for me. I'd probably put it a little higher, but I'm not mad at that at the same time. Destiny 1 at 46. This confuses me because if my memory serves me correctly, Destiny 2 is not on the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about.
I guess people like Destiny 2 more.
They do. That's why Destiny 2 is still around.
But Destiny 1 really felt special at the time, which I think puts it as high as it is. You know,
maybe
it's not anymore, but
I played the shit out of the beta.
Yeah, beta, and even
Destiny was a lot of fun.
Original game. Raids,
Halo 3 at 45, appropriate. I would personally put it higher, but that's appropriate. Morrowind over Oblivion, Connor. Have you played Morrowind?
I have not, and I never will because of how the game plays. But it has its people love it.
Nier Automata at 43. How do you feel about that one, Connor? You're passionate about that one.
It deserves to be higher, but I'm happy considering the size of people that have played it.
Like
it's not as popular as other ones.
That's pretty high.
I'm happy it's on the list.
Yeah.
Chrono
I don't
Trigger,
know.
Connor, how are you in your leveling of RPGs? Chrono Trigger against New Vegas, two very different RPGs from very different eras of games.
They are just because I can have. They're very close.
I think 42 is appropriate.
This is appropriate. I would put it higher on my own list, but in the definitive list, I'm happy it's in this position.
Mario Galaxy at 40, that feels appropriate to me. I don't know if I'd put. I'm still debating on if I like Galaxy or Odyssey more. Those are 1 and 2 for me. What remains of Edith Finch at 39? People who love Edith Finch fucking love Edith Finch, so sure. 38, Hades. Surprised it's even on the list. Glad it's here.
Yeah.
So Greg Miller definitely submitted this. Yeah, like where do you think Edith Finch was on this list?
He forgot. He didn't answer his email.
Oh, that's very much. I remember seeing. I don't know how many of the Kind of Funny guys did it, but I know Blessing did.
I think it was the Blessing and Mike. I think are the only two who submitted.
Snowbike Mike Howard.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2. I need to play. Super Mario Brothers 3 at 36. Sure, that makes sense. Portal 1 at 35.
Super Mario.
Not that.
Mario.
I don't put it on the top 100 if you want, but that's sliding into number 100 to me.
Like if Portal 2 isn't on here, this is ridiculous.
Oh, Portal 2
is on here.
It's got to be on here. I don't remember exactly, but it's got to be. 34 Uncharted 2. Honestly, a little high. Probably should drop down to the 60s.
It used to be so much higher on the game than that.
And then here's my boys, and of course you guys, feel free to disagree with me. You have both played this game. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater at 33. You cannot name 32 games better than Snake Eater. You can't. You can't do it.
Well,
I probably could.
I like it's an amazing, impressive game. Now, Last of Us 2, I've criticized for not having an emotional impact to it, despite the writing being perfect. Mm-hmm. In a sense, I want to go. Maybe not. That's the best word for it. But Metal Gear Solid 3's writing is perfect, and it has that emotional resonance. But it doesn't hit as hard as I know you and how much you've loved this game, and I don't think anyone feels almost as much passion for it as you do.
Oh, there's a large contingency of people who think Snake Eater is the greatest game of all time.
There are, but in the grander scheme of things, beyond that group.
Yeah,
this measly. It makes sense it would rank to this level, though I think it should rank higher.
Yeah, the thing about it to me is it's really a conversation between 1 and 3, is really what it is, and some people would even vouch for 2, but it's really a conversation between 1 and 3. 1 is gonna get high because it's a classic and chain storytelling, yada 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 yada. But 3 is the ultimate Metal Gear Solid game. It has all of the aspects that the newer games are here, and all of the great stuff from the old games is here. Meets in the middle makes the perfect video game.
Mm-hmm. I saw you get upset at this on Twitter.
You can't name 32 video games better than Metal Gear Solid 3. Deus Ex is an example of this, but Deus Ex, I refuse to believe. Shadow of the Colossus 31 is not better than Snake Eater. But, these Shadow of the Colossus fans go hard because they got Eco and the other one on here.
Yeah.
Outer Wilds, haven't played it, heard great things. Journey at 29. Journey is not better than Snake Eater. Journey is not better than Snake Eater. It's not.
At least Last of Us Part 2 is better than it.
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, Last of Us Part 2 is gonna. Oh, I thought. Oh, it's the original Last of Us that's in the top 10, right?
No, yeah, Last of Us 1 is in top 10. 28 for Last of Us Part 2. I'm not mad at it. It's personally higher for me, but I'm not mad at it. And they're going to give the first one over the second one, so yeah, sure, whatever. Mm-hmm. Street Fighter 2, 27 feels appropriate. Link to the Past, 26 feels appropriate. Pokemon Red and Blue, 25 feels appropriate. Minecraft, 24 feels appropriate. Like, these top 20 to 30s are okay. BioShock is a little high for me. 23
at the time, though, it was so impactful.
It was.
Can't ignore that.
It was, but it hasn't aged the best, and its story hinges on a twist that everybody knows. And let's be honest, it's not even that interesting to begin with.
It's so in the mainstream now, the twist in that game.
Well, the atmosphere is really important. Also, the atmosphere of that game is still superb.
Now, here's the other caveat of this list. These people probably didn't play most of these games recently.
They're working off memory
enough to be. Yeah, they're working off memory, which can impact
nostalgia. Well, I mean, that's how Halo 1 gets above Halo 3 and lands at 21. No, you cannot tell me. Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 1, important game, very impactful game, deserves to be on a top 100 list. Deserves maybe even top 50. Not 21.
Well, boys, we will eventually have a top 100 list, and you can check that out on the Game Club,
Game Club.
where Halo 1 Combat Evolved is probably not going to be at 21 for us.
When we start breaking the 20s, no. Elden Ring at 20.
I'm surprised.
It's a little early to put Elden Ring on a top 100 list.
But
don't
it's
care.
such a banger.
And this high on a top 100 list, it's a little early.
See,
Elden Ring is such a banger, dude.
I judge at this point whether I can
It
accurately
belongs.
give an honest opinion without putting it too high myself and screw up this entire list. So
Doom
I
at
understand
19,
why it should be as high, but I'm happy where it is.
the original Doom at 19, Super Mario 64 at 18. Those are both appropriate. Final Fantasy 7 at 17. Connor, I would say this is appropriate, yeah?
I put it higher, but yeah, appropriate. Very much appropriate.
This is probably
Okay.
where it would land for me.
Fair
Somewhere
enough.
around here.
That's very fair.
Skyrim at 16. I
Just out of the
personally,
15.
I would say Skyrim goes lower on the list. Like, probably in the 20s or 30s. Personally.
Definitely does.
But
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this. Red Dead Redemption 2, 15. I don't agree, but, whatever.
People love that story.
Not better
very,
than
very
not
good.
better than Snake Eater. Skyrim's not better than Snake Eater. Doom's not better than Snake Eater. Halo 1 is not better than Snake Eater. That's
Obviously,
really-
it is Tavin. It's higher.
That's really
Here's the thing: the list is not. Hey, these games are all better than Snake Eater. This is the top 100 games.
They specifically said these 32 games are better than Snake Eater, is what they've said. Super Mario World 14 appropriate. Ocarina of Time 13 appropriate. Disco Elysium 12. Haven't played it, but this makes me really want to.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, and I really want to jump back in.
People like it that much, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Number 11 Resident Evil 4. Guys.
Okay.
Guys, I understand the impact. I understand the influence. I understand everything it did culturally. Can we please get off of this idea that Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games of all time? It's not. It's got a great first half. A very great first half. That second half is not. And the game did not age well at all. And its story sucks.
Tavin, it is consistently said to be the best, so it is.
Not better than Snake Eater.
Oh,
Half-Life
obviously it
2, number 10,
Makes
not
sense.
mad at it.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1, number 9. I think that's
Whoa.
I think that's pretty damn high, Connor. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's very fucking high.
I get that it started the From Software formula and it deserves to be high because of it, but yeah, it's way too high.
Way too high.
Literally, yeah, I put that in like the 50s.
I was gonna say 50s, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a little much. Portal 2, number 8. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Personal taste aside, I'm not mad at that.
It's a phenomenal game.
Metal Gear Solid, number 7.
Three's better than 1.
I guess if
Three's
you
better than 1, Tavin. You know
three
it
is better. 3 is better than 1. If you want to but if you take that conversation out of where does 3 land, Metal Gear Solid making top 10. I guess if you want, but I wouldn't. It would land probably in the 30s for me. Mass Effect 2, number 6. No, no. No individual Mass Effect game deserves to be top 20. No individual Mass Effect game deserves to be top 20. As one of the biggest Mass Effect fans on the fucking planet, you can see the poster right there, up there. I love Mass Effect. No individual Mass Effect game is top 20, and Mass Effect 2, I've always said is the worst of the trilogy. But that's me, and I'm in the minority on that. Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, number 5, honestly surprises me that it's that high. I'm not mad at it.
Oh, I'm very surprised by how people consider this game. I figured it's maybe in the top 5.
Number 4, Bloodborne, Connor.
I'm happy. I'm
Is
satisfied.
that okay? But is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
He
Yeah.
said sure. Number 3, Tetris, sure if you want. Number 2, Last of Us, sure if you want. And then number 1, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
It's the best game, Tavin. See, you're wrong.
Best
You're wrong. It's
game
right there.
of all time on a
Now-
top 100 list. It's true.
Gentlemen, let's have an honest conversation here. Is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, can that be conversation for best game of all time?
I wouldn't
Yes.
put it in there. No.
I'm not saying at number 1. I'm just saying in conversation, is that greatest game of all time? If you're talking 100, are you like, yeah, Breath of the Wild, I could see that being number 1.
Sure. Yeah.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Well, gentlemen, you both know that we are on. We have just seen the release of Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and this is the whole reason I brought this list forward, is so I could start this conversation here. Tears of the Kingdom just came out. Was a really great day for my fantasy critic. Very happy with the performance of the game in terms of
it doubled your score.
It doubled my current score, which is fantastic. Remember,
sad.
Phil, like I've still got like most of your games are out. Mine barely.
Kind of sad.
Well, it's just because all my games are late year stuff. And so Tears of the Kingdom came out. Everybody's saying it's the greatest game ever made. This list came out. Breath of the Wild at number 1. And I sat down and I said to myself, am I really that wrong? Am I really that wrong? Because I'll reiterate for clarity. I've never said Breath of the Wild is a bad game. I've always just said I just don't like it.
Verbatim, you have.
No.
Oh, maybe only fucking around, but I've always said it's a fine game. It's fine. It's got cool stuff about it. What it does for exploration and freedom of exploring a world is great. But I've always said I thought the puzzles were boring. I've always said I felt aimless and lost. I didn't like the lack of direction in the game, and I didn't like. I never liked the combat in the game. So, gentlemen, this list came out. Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I said, "Fuck, maybe I'm wrong." It's been 6 years since I played Breath of the Wild.
Fucking knew it.
Let me sit down and let me replay. Let me open it up again. Let me go in, open mind, as much as possible. And say what you want about me, gentlemen, but I feel like I can go into things with an open mind more times than not.
Sure.
You know? So I was like, let me wipe all my expectations and thoughts about the game, and let me dive in. So at this point, gentlemen, I am 6 to 8 hours into my playthrough of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And let me tell you, boys, you know, sometimes it just takes a minute for things to click. Sometimes it just takes a minute for something to make an impact. It's not that, like, your perspective was off. You just weren't in the right, like, time and space for something, you know? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just gotta marinate on it, come back to it later, and see if it affects you differently. Very often, you'll find a great appreciation for something, and sometimes it's the same. And sometimes, gentlemen, we just have to admit when we're wrong. And it's for this reason that I'm saying I'm not wrong. You guys are fucking crazy. This game is not. This game is not. It is absolutely not one of the greatest games of all time. No, absolutely not. Now, again, I will say, I'm coming at it with as fresh eyes as I can. I love the exploration. I love the freedom. There's been so many times I'm riding on the paraglider and I'm looking around and I'm going, wow, this is beautiful. This is awesome. This is so cool. I feel so free. I also know that is going to wear off at about hour 10. And I cannot fathom how this game is considered a 10 out of 10 game and the combat is still awful to me. It is bad. It's not okay. It's not serviceable. It is bad. Like, the window for a shield parry is tight, and animations of enemy characters are not clear enough of when they're going to attack, and it's just not the parry. Awful. The little space jump, the like quick evade thing is neat. It looks cool. It doesn't feel good, and just mashing the fucking attack button, it just never feels good. Combat does not feel good. And it doesn't help the fact that the weapon degradation ruins it. You find a weapon you like, you use it on 2 enemies, it breaks, and now I have to use this piece of shit spear that I do not like using. Or this big ass club that's way too slow and I'm not getting hits in. It does not, the damage is just as varied as any other weapon in the game. So I have a club and a sword and a spear, all with different attack animations, speeds, and hitboxes, but they all could do the same level of damage. That doesn't make sense from a game design perspective. That is bad design. Especially when you force me to use weapons I don't want to use and I'm not good at using because the weapons I am good at using keep breaking on me in areas where they're not around anymore. The bow and arrow is fine. It's fine. Like, it's fine. It works. It's functional. And again, the exploration's great. I think the level design is great. There is constant wonder of, oh, what's over there? Let me go over there. But I just know hour 20, I'm going to hit that point where I'm going to like actively be searching for shrines to get more powerful. And I'm going to be having trouble finding them. And it's just like this little shitty mine detector of a shrine detector sucks. And I don't like it. It does not give me a clear enough direction of where these fucking things are. And the shrines themselves are boring. They are so fucking boring. Fucking brain dead baby mode puzzles. If you get stuck in a puzzle in Breath of the Wild, you are a moron. You're an idiot. The combat trials obviously suck because the combat sucks. I do like the progression of being able, like, building out my stamina meter, building out my hearts. I could be like, oh, I'm stronger now. Or I can take more hits, at least. I'm not stronger, actually, because I'm still working with shitty-ass tree branches or skeleton arms alongside my big-ass sword that does just as much damage as the skeleton arm. And then... I forgot where that was going. Oh, but I do like the building out of the stamina. That does feel good. But you have to sit there and question the design of it. Like, it doesn't, like, make sense. You want a game where I have to freely explore an open world and get lost in that open world. And my starting stamina is so shit. Guys, I've just started doing the horse whistle glitch. And when your game is better... Well, Connor, if you don't know, it's you hold down the whistle button and you just mash the sprint button, which requires you to put your fingers in a really weird configuration. When your game is better, when I glitch it out, that's a problem. That's a design problem. Like, that speaks to design. Also, climb speed is... I think I've complained about the climbing before, and I think it really all just centers around the climb speed. The climb speed's too slow. You're way too slow. And I understand you can get equipment to speed you up, but that is core to the gameplay design is climbing, and your climbing is too slow. Like, it takes too long, and the game does not. It is not clear in the game of, like, you look at a cliff and you go, yeah, I have enough stamina for that, and then you find out you don't, and then you fall to your death, or you save yourself with a paraglider at the last second, and then you look up at that cliff and go, well, now I don't even want to go up there. Like, I don't even want to find a way around because I just spent 2 minutes because the climbing is so slow, climbing the fucking thing, and then 30 seconds falling from the fucking thing. I don't want to do that again, so I'm going to go do something else. And then now you're lost in the open world. You don't know where you were progressing. You're like, and that, like, all of that just feeds into a design loop that I don't think really works. I love the exploration. I love the level design. I love the freedom of the game. I really do. But there are core gameplay design choices that they made that I think cripples the experience as a whole. I don't understand how you can call it a 10 out of 10 video game.
Well, Tavin, I don't think that way.
I just realized, so a lot of the weapons in Tears of the Kingdom break even faster, so you're not going to like it.
I'm sorry. You are right about that, but I have more pressing matter. And I apologize, but I need to take a quick break real quick.
What does that mean?
You go to the restroom.
Okay, go to the restroom, because I'm gonna have a hot take, Connor, that applies less to you and applies more to Phil. But here, listen to my hot take and then choose if you want to stick around and leave. I think, regardless of how you feel about Breath of the Wild, regardless of if you love it, if you hate it, if you're more like middling on it like me. Because again, I think the game is fine. It is fine. It's got elements that are bad, and it's got elements that are great. And overall, it's just fine. Is it worth a $40 or 40-hour experience? No. Regardless of how you feel about Breath of the Wild, on the exact same level, the exact same plane, this is the exact same level of quality of a game as Death Stranding. Exact same level of quality. in a lot of very similar ways. Death Stranding, not a perfect game either. Like, I think both of these games are 7s at most. Like, I would probably put Death Stranding at a 7. But like, any crippling gameplay thing that this game has, Death Stranding has as well. And anything that's cool about this game, Death Stranding has as well. The thing that pushes Death Stranding over for me is that the story is more interesting. It's just long-winded and convoluted in a classic Kojima way. And the combat is good, or better, in Death Stranding. It's not great, but it's good. So, and I think that central gameplay loop feeds into itself better than Zelda's does. Like, going out with your resources, finding a new spot, dropping off resources, getting upgrades, going back out, being able to explore out further. Instead of a go anywhere you want, it's a go anywhere you want, but you have to work your way towards it. It's less of a, like, fuck it, man, do whatever you want, like, type thing. Like, the heat map tracking for both games is, like, Breath of the Wild, you're all over the place, because players went up, left, right, down, everywhere. Whereas Death Stranding, I'm sure most players probably took a very specific path, but eventually everything got filled out anyway. And I just think that general gameplay loop of getting new tools, getting new accessible ways around mountains and cliffs and rivers is way more engaging and makes me feel a sense of progression that Breath of the Wild fails at. Both games have problems in my mind, but I just think they're the exact same level of quality.
I just don't know. I don't know what it is about Breath of the Wild that makes all those things okay to me. I get lost in the world. I love having to find new weapons. I love, like, sure, I like this kind of weapon. But the weapon degradation and the breaking doesn't bother me, because you always have more stuff. Like, you always have a way out of something. I like figuring out. It kind of turns combat encounters into, like, a puzzle of, like, do I have enough resources to get through this? And I know you say you don't like the combat, but I don't know. There's something about it that I really like, and I like kind of the collection part of it, where, like, I want to get all the different items for Link to wear. I want to get all those buffs that each little outfit provides. Like, you mentioned, like, the climbing gear that makes you climb faster. You've got my personal favorite, the Sheikah armor thing, where, like, you're sneaky and you can, like, sneak up on people and raid camps without them knowing you're there, and just sneak up on them and get, like, sneak strikes, and it's good. That also, like, with the changes Link's design and each little outfit, it's neat, and I like filling out that compendium in the game, and also just in my mind of, I have all these items, I have all the different ways to do this. And, playing through Tears of the Kingdom, and the fact that there's so many layers added on to like what I loved about Breath of the Wild, like, I don't know how to get into how much I'm enjoying just putting random shit together and sticking it together and making my own weapons and trying different combinations that are literally just, oh, now I put this on this end rather than the other way, and seeing how that affects how the weapon works. It's just insanely satisfying. Like, I don't know if I can go back to Breath of the Wild.
I believe that.
But like, you hate it then?
No, I believe Tears of the Kingdom
it
expands on its mechanics in a way that going back to Breath of the Wild is going to be difficult. Like, I believe that is true about Tears of the Kingdom without playing.
There's a set of tools. There's a set of tools that you have in Breath of the Wild that isn't available in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, but the tool,
really?
from what I can tell, the tools they give you in Tears makes it
insanely fun.
Yeah,
it does.
Ultra Hand, Fuse, and what's the one? Or, I mean, there's the Recall, like the rewind time, and then there's the jumping through the world. I think it's Ascend.
Yeah. Phil, off of what you just said, that added both a pro and a con to the game for me. Like, the pro is one of the things that I think is why it feeds into the collectathon level of it is that the sound design is ridiculously good. Like, ridiculously good. Like, it sounds great. The music is great. The sound design of you running through the world is great. All of that, the weapons and the like, all the sound effects are great and stuff. But on a manipulative level, which, like, all games do this, all video games do this, but on a manipulative level, all the little beeps and bloops and blops that you get for entering shrines and completing shrines and opening doors and chests and finding Korok seeds, all of those, like, give serotonin. Like, all of those are great, and they continuously make you want to find more and get more. Which is why I think it's like people are like, oh, it feels great to go get these things because your ears are hearing these things, but it doesn't feel good to play to me. And that leads into my other con is you mentioned the stealth stuff. Sure, I looked at the stealth armor, but I was like, because you can get it fairly early if you have enough rupees, which I had enough for like one piece of that armor or whatever. But I was like, you know what? I don't want it because the stealth in this game sucks. Like, it's trash. It's the most, like, basic stealth 101 gameplay I've ever seen in my life. Like, Uncharted does better stealth than this.
It's not good at all.
Did you play through the Yiga hideout? The Yiga clan hideout? Did you get through there? No?
Dude, I don't know. I don't think so.
They love bananas. You got to drop bananas, and they go for the bananas.
Oh no! That's another positive.
That's done good.
What happened?
I said that's the one stealth section that's done. The only good, like, stealth part of Breath of the Wild is
that's the
that
only
one level. Because regularly sneaking throughout the game does suck. It is pretty lame. You have to fight them like a warrior. Go man on man. You know?
Yeah, but, like, I also feel like just the combat design is just random. Like, I go into a fight and I'm like, it is a 50-50 chance on whether I win or lose this fight, regardless of my equipment, regardless of my inputs. Like, it's just like, they threw a rock at me from off screen and that took off a heart and a health, and now they're picking on me while I'm down. Like, all right, sure, this is fun, I guess.
You got situational awareness.
But I will say another big positive, which adds to the exploring and the freedom of the game, is the creativity of how the systems interact with each other. That's really cool and really satisfying. I walked up to a tree, saw apples, and I went, I can't climb trees, but I can hop up and pick the apples from it. I went, oh, okay, cool. But I was like,
you can also take a stick.
Hold on. There's some I can't get to. So I was like, I wonder if I can just hit the tree and it'll fall down. So I grabbed a hammer and I hit the tree and the apples fell down. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That made me feel good. And then I ran up to another tree later on and I hit it with a sword. And, like, a couple of apples fell down, but not all of them. And I was like, I got to hit it a couple times because it's a sword. And then I hit it a couple times and the tree fell down. And I went, oh. And then I hit the tree a few more times and it turned into wood. And I was like, oh, this is cool. That's inventive. There's a part early in the game where you have to go to, like, the little laboratory to get your camera power up ability, and they ask you to bring the fire up to the thing or whatever. And there's one that's placed underneath an apple tree. And I brought and Link naturally holds the torch up. I brought it up to the tree and he cooked the apple from the torch. That's awesome. And then the apple fell down and it's a baked apple for me. And I went, that's dope. That's really, really cool. And it's a continuous, like, it does that great thing in video games where it's like, you go, can I do this? Yes, I can. Awesome. And it rewards you for that. That part's really great about the game. If only it was in a game that felt good to play. like other than jumping and sprinting and gliding, like, climbing sucks, combat sucks, stealth sucks. I hate talking to NPCs because they talk for too long, like, for lines of text to be interesting, if it's just lines of text. But then I get a cutscene where it's voiced and the dialogue's not interesting and the voice acting is generic as hell. So I tune out and I go, I don't care. I just want this to be over. Like, I just want this cutscene to be over so I can go back into the open world and cook apples with my torch.
Can you believe Tavin tried to convince us that he was going to say that he was wrong about Breath of the Wild, but me and Connor were like, no, he's going to turn this around.
It's something that he would definitely do. And I realized that my mic was muted the entire time, so anything I was saying was not being picked up.
I didn't know you were talking.
I didn't see you talking, so I don't know if it mattered.
Woo!
But, like, I tried. I tried back in the day, and I tried today. Or the last couple of days where I've been playing. It's just like,
I knew that's what you were playing when you made that tweet. I was
Yeah.
like, no, he's not. But
But-
then I attended your Discord. He was like, none of your business. You like when you said something. You called me a bitch or something.
I
So
forget what
rude.
I said. I may have called you a bitch, but you said, "What are you playing?" And I said, "All will be revealed in time." And I was expecting to talk about this
you said-
next week's Piggy Bank.
You said none of your business, whore. Is what you
That's
said.
what I said. That's what I said. I was expecting to talk about this on next week's Piggy Bank, and we're going long, so we may have to X the last game.
We are going long.
A long time.
So, but yeah, basically, my general consensus is Breath of the Wild is not a 10 out of 10 game. I don't understand how it could be when certain gameplay mechanics of this game are so bad and they are so central to the gameplay experience. Like, how is this a 10 out of 10 video game? And then
Well, I have to completely disagree with you and say that you're
if
wrong.
you love this game and hate on Death Stranding, I don't understand, because they're more alike than they are different.
I hate on Death Stranding for the meme. I've never actually played it, so
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. But there are people who genuinely are like, Death Stranding's a bad game. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, it's not a great game, but it's good. Like, it's fun. And it's fun in the same ways that Breath of the Wild is. I just think it centers around gameplay mechanics that support each other better. The whole thing about Breath of the Wild is that it's got two things about it that work really well, a bunch of middling stuff, and then a couple of bad things. How does that equal 10 out of 10? How? Like, it boggles my mind.
well,
Oh. Breath of the Wild, good. For those who haven't played it, I would go
That's what I
enjoy
got out of
the nice, the nice exploration. Go on. Tavin said it was good, so.
that's what I got out of the conversation.
Let me say this, because I meant to say it at the beginning, and I didn't say it, and I should have. If you like it, good for you. Awesome. Keep liking it. Keep playing it. Play the Tears of the Kingdom. Have a great time. Happy you like it.
Just say what you really want to say about it, and that's shut the fuck up. That's what you want to say about it. That's what you really want to say to these people.
Yeah. That's like, okay, it's great. It's not that great.
I would never say such a thing. I love Breath of the Wild. That's Tavin talking right there.
Oh, Tavin, at least you went back and gave it a chance.
I tried, guys. 6 years apart. Like, I'm a different man. Like, and I'm
Almost
like,
cellularly.
yeah,
So
you know, like my taste in games has changed. My perspective has changed quite a bit, and yeah, I still don't like it.
well, anyway, I think is that our longest Piggy Bank, you think?
I don't think it's our longest, but it's getting close. We're at an hour 28 right now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
That's
have
almost an hour and a
to.
half.
We're gonna have
So-
to not do landscape this week.
Sorry, Connor.
We got my game out.
We can
I
save
get
it for next week.
Sure.
Connor, you want to take 2 games next week?
Take 2 games?
Yeah, like take
no,
mine.
I'm not a greedy pig.
Oh, okay.
Dirty pig.
Dirty.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of the Piggy Bank podcast, your favorite casual gaming podcast with your casual gaming buds. These, of course, have been my favorite casual gaming buds, Connor, Elliott, and Tavin Bothel. Boys, go ahead and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good riddance.
Breath of the Wild, bad game. No, it's not. I'm kidding.